Good morning. I hope that
You hope that the what?
it's a little bit brighter on the regular screen. Look kind of,
Dull?
yeah, that would. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I am Cindy. This is my husband, Matt, and we are full-time resellers. So if you're just joining us, thank you for being here. It's Friday morning.
Friday, May 13th. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. So, yesterday, we're just going to get right into it. Hopefully some people will join us, but yesterday I went to drop off our packages at the UPS, which I do every day.
Every day.
Pretty much every day I have to go to UPS.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to know the lady who owns our local UPS franchise, and we talk and whatever. And she was saying that there's a lot of online sellers that bring stuff in and sell online on different platforms through their own stores, whatever. And she was saying that a lot of them have been saying that the market is softening, that sales are down.
It's slow.
It's slow. They're a little bit concerned about how gas prices, grocery prices, that sort of thing are impacting their sales.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was an interest, and she asked me what I thought, and I went, haven't really noticed that. So I thought it was an interesting conversation to have of, what is kind of the market doing right now? What are we seeing? Are we even paying attention? All of those kinds of things. So that's what I thought we'd talk about today.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, talk about it.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, if you're selling winter coats,
it's going to be slow.
It's going to be slow because it's getting warm out there.
Yes. So if you're here and you're in the comments, tell us if your sales are slow, if you're feeling it. Good morning, Simply Dana. Good morning, Thrift Dance Eat Repeat. So I do think that what you sell obviously has a huge impact on whether or not you're going to face a quote unquote summer slowdown. Is this different though? Hey, Christina. Is this different than a typical summer slowdown? I know a lot of resellers get hit with a summer slowdown every year. Lots of businesses get hit.
Yeah, I think it slows down because it's summer and people are going out and doing stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I've talked about this before. It's inevitable. But
if you're selling travel goods, if you're selling beachwear, you're probably...
This is your busy season.
This is your busy season. So it's not everyone, for sure. It is impacted by what you sell. But is this different? Do you think that this summer is going to be different than past years?
Hard to tell.
I think that when people are faced with grocery prices going up, gas prices going up, those kinds of things, I think that you have to expect that it'll impact it to some extent. It's just what extent is that impact going to be? And I also think, though, that in every instance, there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So there's going to be something.
Pivot. Time.
We should just rename our channel Pivot.
It's time to pivot.
Just pivot. Mm-hmm. Every day you're pivoting. Because, I think that we aren't necessarily seeing that our sales are exactly what we would anticipate with the inventory that we currently have.
But they're slower than they were in fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if you look at your fourth quarter numbers compared to your first quarter numbers, you could say, well, it's a slowdown because they've slowed down.
Yeah. Brian the Oak Book.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Brian.
Hey. I think it will be different. I don't plan on going thrifting a lot due to high gas. Yeah, Christina says it's seen a lot of saturation in categories where there wasn't as much previous years. Absolutely. I think, Christina, that's a great point, that when people's money gets tight, they tend to sell their items themselves instead of donating or whatever. So we always see an increase in sellers anytime
Well, and we're going into garage sale season. So people who normally donate stuff over the winter, they're like, hey, we're going to have a garage sale.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I could just sell this.
Mhm.
And then we at least typically see garage sale prices go up because people are trying to it's no longer just about get it out of my house. It's about I want to get some money for these items. So the attitude changes.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that you're going to see an impact from the economy. I think it would be silly to think that the economy isn't going to impact your business. That seems a little.
You would think.
That seems a little basic to me.
Yeah.
But it really is just to what impact. And we haven't seen, like I said, our sales are exactly where I would anticipate them to be right now on any year in any market based on the inventory that we have. But we've pivoted once again and are pivoting into items that we know sell regardless of the economy, regardless,
Yeah.
Good, solid summer selling items. I think it becomes more important to really pay attention to what you're selling.
Well, yeah.
Not that you shouldn't always be.
I was just going to say, you probably, if you're doing this as a reliable source of income, you really do kind of need to pay attention to what you're selling and what season it is and what the economy's doing. I mean, it is a business. If you're relying on this money for anything, even if it's for going on vacation once a year, it's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not doing it for fun. You're doing it to get some income.
Yeah.
And you need to treat it as such. And you got to pay attention.
Yeah. Kelly Deb says it's slow right now. And I did a video yesterday about search relevancy. And those are things that we pay a little bit more attention to. Not that we're not always paying attention to it, but there are things in there that we don't necessarily do every day. If sales aren't slow.
Yeah, you don't have to.
As I don't have to.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm not being as diligent with those things when sales aren't slow. But when sales get slow, when the market gets saturated, when prices are coming down, that's where I'm going to go. I am going to go to sending those coupons at the right time. I'm going to go to sending those best offers at the right time. All the things that I talked about in that video to make sure my items have the best chance of selling, because I need every sale becomes more important.
Yes, that becomes more important. It gets magnified.
So I really have to pay attention to that, and then paying attention to sell-through rates and what is selling right now versus what was selling in Q4 or last summer, or paying attention to all of those things more so than usual, because we always pay attention to that. But when sales are chugging right along,
you're like, well, and I think part of that problem is you're so busy because sales are chugging right along. You really don't have the time to focus on those other things. You're trying to keep up with orders and sourcing. So
but when sales slow, you got to start looking at where your capital is also, because when sales are chugging right along, then capital is coming in, you've got more cash flow, you can afford, at least for us, to take more risks. You can afford to buy more items that aren't going to sell right away. They're going to sell, a month from now, whatever. That's okay, because your regular stuff is just chugging right along. But when sales are slow, those dollars become more important also. So that capital becomes more important. Kelly Deb says, I think that eBay's working on this site. It always gets slow when they're working on the site. Yes, eBay changed the way they show view counts. Brian said on listings. I noticed that yesterday. Yes, they have changed that. Yeah, I can do a video on that.
Once again, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
We're going to buy him a giant spoon to just kind of stir it.
They are changing things. And I will say this. I am glad that they're going to make changes in May and not in October. Hopefully.
We don't know that they're not going to make changes.
I'm hoping. I'm optimistic that this year they're just going to make changes in May and not in October. But yes, they're making changes. Amazon has been making changes. One day I woke up and my Seller Central page was in Chinese. That was fun. So yeah, anytime, I know Poshmark's been making changes, anytime these sites are making changes, you're absolutely going to see sales slow as they implement that new software, that new whatever.
Sometimes
it goes in your favor.
Sometimes it goes in your favor. We've had that happen once, and it was like, oh,
yeah, that was a magical time. That was a magical time. Mine are slower. I had to take some time off in March. That's the worst time to stop listing. I got buried lights out in April. Yeah, and that happens, Christina. Like we took time off in March. Also, we took a lot of time off in March. Went on vacation. 10 out of 10 would do it again, but getting that momentum ball rolling.
Momentum ball.
Yes. That's how I envision in my head, like a snowball. Like, you know, when you're a kid, and maybe not everybody lives in the tundra where you push the snowball and it's really hard when you...
The momentum ball.
I hope the counter isn't working correctly because mine are super sad. Poshmark touted that social interactions went up this quarter, aka bot usage increased. Stir, Brian, stir. God, I love having you around again. But yeah, lots of sites are making changes. Lots of us take time off. And part of that search relevancy is momentum based. Sales bring more sales. And then you've got more cash flow. So then you've got new inventory coming in. And it's all that big cycle. So when you have to take time off, or when you just want to take time off, then it's going to take some time to get things back going. Yes, Brian says, not financial advice. We are not. Brian is not your financial advisor. We are not your financial advisors. Get an accountant. Get an accountant. Get an accountant. Get an accountant. So just kind of looking at, though, what can you do if your sales are slow today and you depend on this money? What can you do today?
Fire sale.
No, you don't have to fire sale.
You can.
I mean, you could, but we're not going to fire sale. Maybe we will. No, we're not going to fire sale. Don't let him fool you. We're not going to fire sale. We are not panicked in any way, shape, or form. But you can look at your search relevancy. How are your metrics? What do your metrics look like? What are you selling? What isn't selling? Where are you putting your capital that maybe that's not the best place to put it right now? Maybe you need some of those, we call them quick flip items. I need those items that I can buy today, sell today, get my money back.
Yeah, and you're maybe not making as much ROI as you typically do on an item, but you're kind of buying that relevancy. You're kind of getting that momentum ball.
The momentum ball.
Rolling.
Yeah, sounds like a nice shot. Like the resellers line up all the momentum ball shots.
Of a round of momentum
balls. Yeah. So there are some things that you can do. And I think if your sales are slow now, you need to be looking at it today. Yeah. Take it seriously.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I know that the sites are making changes, and that does absolutely impact. But when we look at what's going on with the economy and all of that, if you are already slow, excuse me, then you need to be looking at this, because even when the sites get back to working the way that they should, things are going to be rough. I mean, I was selling full time whenever the housing market crashed. And so been there, done that, gone through some really bad economic times, and not to fearmonger anybody, because it made really good money.
Mm-hmm.
But made those changes. And, you know, the moment you start seeing it, don't be in denial about it. Don't just think, oh, well, I love when people tell you just to list more.
Oh, yeah.
Just list more.
Just list more.
Like, And I always want to say, dude, if my sales are slow, you think I have capital to go and just buy more stuff to list? Like that stuff doesn't just show up for free.
If the stuff I have isn't selling, I'm just going to go out and buy more stuff that's not selling. That doesn't make
sense to me.
That doesn't make sense.
Yes, June will have you crying in the corner. Yeah, if you don't. Yeah, and if you have it, Christina, I know I'm talking to you. If you have the items in your house already, list like crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she says, I just have to list what I already have. Exactly. Like if you've got it, get it listed 1,000%. But if you're having to go out and buy new inventory to be able to list, that becomes a different issue.
Yeah.
We don't sit on items. We are anti-death pile around here, partially because we don't have the space. Like that's not like, wow, look at us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, look at us. Like, we're so good. We get everything in right away. No. We literally do not have the space to have death piles. It would not happen.
Well, and we don't like, we just don't like having death piles.
No, it feels like something that's on your to-do list that needs to be done and it's not marked off. And
to me, that's a financial investment that's not paying any dividends. I mean, and it has no chance of paying dividends if it's not listed. So we just never liked that. I've always been like, hey, no, I can kind of sell it.
On that note, and this is back at us then, if you haven't done an inventory check and your sales are slow, now's the time to do it. Because items just mysteriously disappear. And that's money that you have in those items. We call it shopping your own inventory. Because you're going to find items that aren't listed anymore. And you've got those items, that's money that then you can just sell through and get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you haven't, and I'm talking to us because we desperately
we did do that with Amazon inventory.
We did
on Monday.
Yes.
And we shipped out like 7 boxes worth of stuff. Now, part of that wasn't that it fell off. Part of it was because
stuff doesn't fall off of Amazon.
Because we went on vacation and you took stuff down. So
yeah, and so we did that on purpose. We had items that we were merchant fulfilling that I was like, you know what, just let's send it all in, get it off the books, let's move on. But yeah, so we did do an Amazon inventory, but we do desperately need to do an eBay inventory. With cash losing value to inflation, some inventory has increased in value. At least that's what I'm telling myself. All right, Brian, you tell yourself whatever you need to sleep at night. We've known Brian if you're just joining, we've known Brian forever. And yes, so don't think that I'm being mean because he'll give it back, I promise. But yeah, so if your sales are slow, absolutely do an inventory check. Shop your in inventory, get those items listed, but then look at your search relevancy. Look at your pricing. Are there items that, you know what, I've had this for so long, let's just let it go. You guys are 100% right. List like crazy if you already have a pile to list. I'm looking in the mirror as I type this. Yeah, if you've got those items, get them listed now because we don't know what fall is going to bring. If the economy slows, it may be harder to sell those items in the fall than it is right now. Run your sales, check your keywords, and sell similar, all the tricks. I mean, this is when we pull out all the tricks, all those little things. Like we all know the big things that you do. Let's have a good title, do good pictures, price competitively, those kinds of things. And when sales are chugging right along, that's all you need. But when sales slow, you got to start looking to some of those smaller things that will help you push yourself up in search just a little bit. Christina called you my emotional support human this morning, and that's correct.
Emotional support person or antagonist?
It could go either way. So I'd definitely be looking at that. I'd be watching the markets, seeing, how are things shaping up? Where do you think they are? And it's your business. You get to decide. If you think that it's going to turn around, then that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Live like that. We're not telling you what to do. We're just saying
this is what we've done, and this is what's helped us in the past.
What has worked
doesn't necessarily. You could be selling completely different items than us, and
you could have gold bars, and good for you. If you want to send them our way, I mean, whatever.
If we had gold bars, I wouldn't be here right now.
Right? Yeah, maybe we would. Yeah. But we are looking at, okay, how can we keep cash flow? Which means having items that I can buy today, sell today, quick turns. They are smaller ROIs.
Yeah, you're not going to get rich with the...
No. And in a lot of cases, it's a grind.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a grind. And you're going to sell a lot of volume.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be busy.
Yeah, you're going to be busy. But the upside to that is you're keeping cash flow coming in. And then those higher ticket items that I have, I can hold on them. So I don't have to fire sale. Those items can wait a little bit longer for them to sell because I've got cash flow coming in on the smaller ticket items. It's kind of weighing that out. To what does your inventory look like? Taking a hard look at your inventory. Do I have items that realistically are going to sell this month?
Yeah, we have that conversation every once in a while.
Because sometimes the truth of the matter is our sales are slow because you have parkas in July, and that is just not going to cut it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be going through, and I'll pull out something like, why did we buy that?
Yeah. When we do an inventory check, I think there's going to be a big pile of donations because we've got a lot of stuff that just...
But again, we don't have a lot of storage room, so it's more beneficial for us to take it, donate it, because that storage area is very valuable to us. Now, if you have room to store, I mean...
Yeah. Christina says, my summer sales tend to be more about needs than wants. I sell a lot of parts and pieces in the summer, which is fantastic advice because we see the same thing. Mm-hmm. If you have kids that are home for the summer, you're going on vacation, you're planning a vacation, you're trying to get, kids to swim lessons, whatever, you are less likely to be sitting on the internet just scrolling, looking for something fun. But if I need this item, I'm going to jump online and I'm going to buy this right now. We tend to have more full price sales, more buy it nows in the summer because I need this item. I need it right now. You've got it. You'll ship it to me. Done. Whereas in the fall and winter months, I think people are just kind of window shopping more. And then they just buy, whatever. Start listing Christmas ornaments. Kelly Debs is right. July is a great month for Christmas stuff to sell. Christmas and July sales. Absolutely. So yeah, but knowing that, now you know what to source because there's probably not a lot of people at the garage sales buying all of the boxes of Christmas ornaments because most people aren't thinking that way. So if you've got the capital and you can do that, this is also a great time to be buying. If you've got the capital and you can, because if sales continue to slow, the more you see people saying, my sales are slow, I'm offering this great deal, I'm doing 99-cent auctions, all of that, if you've got the capital, that's the time to buy. Because people are fire selling.
Yep, buy low.
Buy low, sell high, it's the name of the game. And you'll see that in retail locations too. We see it first in resellers. You see the 5 for $20 sales start happening, all of that. We see all of that start happening first with resellers. And then I start to see it in retail locations where people haven't bought as much stuff. And so they're clearancing out. And so now I can get, stuff for $3 on clearance that I send into Amazon that sells the next day for $30. So, you just have to pivot. You have to be aware of what's going on. And I just think so many people just want to say, oh, just list more. Or I like this one too. Just list higher end items. Okay, if I have the capital and the ability to just buy higher end items.
If I knew I can go somewhere and find a bunch of higher end items, I'm going to buy them. Well, depending on the price. But if I can find them, I'm going to buy them.
Yeah, that one always concerns me also, because I always think, okay, tell me how. Tell me where to buy those higher end items at the cost that I'm buying my regular items, and I'm all in. But I don't have unlimited capital. I can't. Yes. Craft kits are good too. Absolutely. People start doing those crafts. Pay attention to yarn, crochet hooks, that kind of aspect of the crafting world. We have a daughter who is 21, and I took her this week to, we call it the big fancy yarn store, because it's big and it's fancy. And the girls working the counter, I'm old, I'll call them girls, were her age. And they just all started saying words that I don't understand about knitting and crocheting. But that generation is very into all of that stuff. Yeah. Our daughter is using, somebody in the chat will know, a drop spindle, which is like to like, I don't even know how to say it. Twirl your own yarn. That's not right. But that's what it does. It makes the stuff.
Spin your own yarn?
Yeah. Spin your. Told you I know nothing about it.
It's like that momentum ball.
It's the momentum ball. I need a shot of a momentum ball, please. Yes, for consistent sales, I've learned you need a healthy mix of price points. Yes. Hey, there's Chrissy. Cottage core is in. Know what's in. You always laugh because in the morning, what am I doing? I'm scrolling on TikTok. I am watching the TikTok.
Yeah.
And you ask me what I'm doing, and I always say I'm working.
Market research.
But
it pays off.
It pays off. It pays off to know what is trending right now. And we've made a lot of money off of my TikTok scrolling.
You've gotten on some great trends. They don't last long, but when they're hot.
But when it hits TikTok and it goes wild on TikTok, man, yeah, there's a lot of money to be made there. But so cottage core is very in with that crowd.
Cottage core.
Yeah. I suppose you haven't been in a Target in forever.
No.
It's what Target looks like right now, which is another way that I watch trends. When you walk into a Target or a Macy's or wherever, what are they promoting? What colors are they pushing? What styles are they pushing? They've got all the data. So just look around that crowd. Yes, Chrissy, I'm just going to lob you in with that crowd because you always know. I am over here not knowing. So I have to pay attention to what's around me because I'm not going to be on trend. I'm just not. Yes. And Mama Small says, love all the yarn. Some of that yarn, you guys, oh my gosh, what they are paying for a single ball of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you've got to be kidding me. To which our daughter was going, oh, Mom. I got the, oh, Mom.
You don't understand.
And I was like, clearly I don't, because Walmart sells balls of yarn for $5.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same. Yes. 1970s crafts are also cottage core. So your home decor, all of that stuff is going to follow those same trends. Pay attention to them. Those are the things that people are going to be still buying. It's what they want. Yes, it sells fast too. Absolutely. Yeah, when you can get on those. Because this is what our daughter tells me. When you start a project and you have hours into it and you realize that you are one ball of yarn short, you do not care what that last ball of yarn costs or who you have to buy it from, because you're going to buy it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes complete
sense.
So
you're going to go online, find whoever has it, and buy it.
Yeah, and you're going to be happy you found it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not worried about the price at that point.
No, you're not returning it. You are just going to be thrilled to have it. So, and she has bought some overpriced balls of yarn on the internet. because she started a project and miscalculated how much yarn she was going to need. So absolutely. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to your trends. Pay attention, though, to your capital, to your cash flow. Because if things, June and July are typically fairly slow.
Yes.
Typically.
Yes. Typically.
For most resellers. Not everybody. Be careful when you Google. Brian, I tell ya. And then you throw me off every time, which I think is your goal.
He's right.
I think that's your goal, is to see how many times you can throw me off the train.
I heard somebody say something a while ago, and I made the mistake of Googling, and
you shouldn't Google everything.
It's like, oh my.
You should not Google everything.
Dangerously.
Chrissy says, then you sell what you made on the handmade marketplace to buy more yarn, to make more things to sell. Infinite craft money glitch. Oh, you are so right. It is an infinite circle of, I don't understand. But that's absolutely what happens with our daughter. 1000%. So pay attention to your capital, though. For most resellers, June and July slow down in a normal year without everything going on that we have going on.
Without the world.
Without the world. So pay attention to your cash flow and your capital and be prepared for what may come, and then forecast for yourself. But make your money while you can. Make your money while the sun shines.
Make hay while the sun shines.
Make hay. I'd prefer to make money. So we are looking at fast flips, though, for summer. We always look for fast flips in the summer. We love a fast flip, though.
We always look for fast flips.
We love a fast flip.
Quarter it is, we're looking for fast flips.
We love a fast flip. We love, those low ROIs. If I can sell 50 of them today, I'm pretty much game. But now our son gets on them, and then he steals them.
Team Rocket.
Yes. We call them Team Rocket, which if you have older kids or anybody into Pokemon, you will get that reference. We call them Team Rocket. So Team Rocket gets on them. And then they beat us.
Yeah. Well, they do kind of work harder than we do, so.
They work a lot harder, which, I think.
But they're a lot younger than we are.
Yeah, if you're 25 and you don't have kids.
You have no kids, you can.
Yeah, you can go hard. They're Team No Chill also, because they have to chill. But yes, they beat us a lot, which is fine.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, which is fine.
Sometimes.
Because the other thing is we don't get, as long as our sales are meeting our bills and we're making the amount of money that we don't get too wigged out about things anymore. And so right now we're good. Our sales are right where they need to be. So we're not going to get too excited about anything going on because we want our time. And that's the most important thing to us right now, is we made all of these shifts. We made all of these changes so that neither one of us realistically works past noon pretty much ever. We don't work weekends. We pretty much just work in the mornings, and then we do whatever we want the rest of the day.
Yeah, we do. But we've been doing this for a long time, and it's taken us a long time to get here.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Let's not just think that if you're new to reselling, that you're just going to go in and work a few hours every day and make a living. There were a lot of times where we were putting
it was really, really rough.
14-hour days.
Yes. So. Yeah. Cindy, can you guys explain what to do in the back end when eBay puts you in timeout? There's more than just listing. Yeah. So if you get put in what Christina and I call timeout can happen for a lot of reasons. You get a negative feedback. You didn't list for 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight, a month, whatever. You get some sort of violation. It happens on every platform. So it can happen on Amazon. It can happen on Poshmark. Any sort of negative negativity against your account. Vero's a huge one. Will a lot of times get you put in timeout. When that happens, you have to, and if you're not like, well, whatever, it'll come back when it comes back. And if that's your opinion, then it will eventually. It'll right itself eventually.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I need sales and I can feel I'm in timeout, you have to move to quick flip items. Yeah. You absolutely have to move to quick flip items.
That's worked for us in the past.
Yes. For us, this is what we do. Yeah. When that happens, and we had that happen this week on Amazon. We had an issue on Amazon, and I said, okay, we are going to sell these items, and we are going to sell them all today because I need to pad my metrics so that I can pull myself out of timeout as quickly as possible. So now it becomes not what item has the greatest ROI, but what item has the greatest sales, the best sales rank, the most sales velocity.
Yep. What's going to turn fastest? So, and you're not going to make a lot of money on it. You're kind of buying your account back.
Yes. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you get put in timeout and you negotiate with your parent, like I'm going to be good and I'm going to do these things, kind of negotiating with, look, I'm good now. I was a good kid. So that's immediately, you've got to do that. And then you've got to look at all of your other metrics. So are you promoting? Are you offering best offer? Are you listing at the correct time of day? All of those things, you have to be hitting on every single point until they pull you out. And they will pull you out. It will come back around. But yeah, it can be rough there for a little bit. I hate the new listing tool. Yeah, me too. But we are moving our clothes over from specialty vintage category to the regular women's category, and now they're selling. Chrissy, that is a fantastic point. If your items aren't selling, look at, is there a way they could be listed differently? So she's moving hers from one category to another. Is there a keyword that I could be putting in? Is there a way that I can move the pictures around? Something to get that change so that you can, again, get that search relevancy back.
If you're going to move your items around,
yes,
run a duplicate listing checker.
Yeah, run a duplicate listing. I used to know that off the top of my head.
I don't remember it.
Google duplicate listing checker for eBay on Google. It'll come right up. You just put in your name and it will show you if you have any duplicate listings.
Yeah, but anytime you move stuff around or you do an inventory check or whatever, and you should probably run it periodically anyways. It's just a good idea.
Especially if you're ending and relisting items. Yeah, run a duplicate listing scan just to make sure that you're not giving them.
Because if you sell things twice, now you're back in the timeout chair.
Yeah. So. I put all my vintage and regular clothing categories. Vintage categories don't seem to work well. I have maybe I'm just optimistic this one. I have true hopes that eBay is going to fix this new listing form and it is going to work the way that it was intended to work. I have hope.
You know what? It's in their best interest.
It really is. It is in their best interest for us all to be like, okay, yeah, this works. This makes sense.
Yeah. And they're a business and they're going to do things that make their site better for them. And if that's for, making it easier for people to list, or if it brings in more sales because things are put in the right places, they're going to do it for that reason. And I can't fault them for that. They're a business and you got to do what's best for your business. So
yeah. And they don't make money if we're not selling products. They don't make money if we're not listing products on their site. So it makes sense. So I have hope that the new listing tool will get working the way that it's supposed to. And some of the issues that we have all faced, eBay is aware. And so I have hope. Fingers crossed. So, anything else from this week that we want to add?
Nope. It's Friday. It's a stay up late night because I don't have school tomorrow. So
Yes, that is how it is worded around here. It is stay up late night, so I hope you all stay up late and have some fun and do something fun. It's been a long week here. We've had a lot of things going on, non-work and business related this week, and so it's been a long week. And
I'm ready for some R&R.
Yes, I'm ready for the weekend. So I hope that this helped you guys. Of course, leave comments below if there's anything else that we can share that would help.
Yeah, and like I said, these are just ideas that
worked
for us in the past. Yeah, we're not guaranteeing that they're going to work for you.
Yeah.
This is just what's worked for us.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for a while. So
yeah, take them, don't take them. There's no offense if you say that's an awful idea, it never worked for me. Okay.
Like and subscribe, please.
Yes. That too.
That helps us.
And then send the video to somebody and tell them to watch the entire thing.
Some random person.
Some random person. Just type in some random
open
number.
Up the phone book. Oh, the phone book.
The phone book. How old are you? All right, guys. Have a great day. Bye.